All right, so today we're talking about energy resources. So when we say energy resources or energy sources, we're talking about how energy is made. Like, for example, the computers we're using in this room were charged through the electric outlets, but that electricity doesn't come for free. Obviously, pay for it, but it's also made. We also generate that electricity somehow. And the same with our transportation. When we get in a vehicle, we go from point A to point B, the energy has to come from somewhere. So we're talking about different types of energy sources. So before I talk about renewable energy and non-renewable energy, can you guys let's just kind of brainstorm for a second. And can you, by reading the chapter that you've read, or maybe you already know of some, give me what are some natural resources that we use to produce electricity or energy? Go ahead.
Water.
Yes, say what?
Water, wood, burn.
Water, yeah, wood, like burning wood. Fossil fuels, that's a big word. We'll talk about fossil fuels a lot. Any other source of energy you guys can think of? Yep, there's wind power. Yes, wind energy. Yep, sun, or we can call that solar power too.
I said rain.
You said rain?
Rain.
Grain? What's that?
Rain, like in the field. That's what
Okay.
But like the biomass.
Oh, biomass, yes. I didn't. Nuclear, yep. Geothermal, yep, there's one. I'll talk about what some of these are in a second. You guys? No, so electric is not natural. Now there's lightning, which is electricity, but we don't use lightning. But so the electricity that comes out of outlets are produced by some of these resources here. Coal, there we go. I was waiting for somebody to say coal. There's another one. What is the one that's most used in cars? Yeah, gasoline, there we go. And gasoline now falls under another big one called petroleum. Gas is non-renewable. Yeah, we'll talk about why. And you might actually go to the store and buy petroleum jelly. That stuff is made out of the same stuff your gasoline is made of, just refined in different ways. You didn't know that? Yeah, petroleum jelly is nice, yeah. So that's a big long list there. Can you guys think of any others? I don't think I can think of any more. Can you think of any more? Okay. Yeah, I can't think of any more either. Okay. So let's talk. We're going to divide these up. We get a big long list of different types of resources. Let me increase my font size here to make it a little more legible. There we go. So we're going to talk about renewable versus non-renewable. So renewable energy, non-renewable energy. Did anyone pick up the definition to renewable energy as they were reading?
Yeah. Renewable energy, you said renewable, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so there are resources that can be replaced as quickly as they are used. Let me give you an example. An example is wind energy. So wind energy, after wind turns these wind turbines, the wind doesn't immediately go away. There's more wind right behind that wind to keep on generating the windmills. A really easy way to remember renewable energy is that this is practically unlimited. For example, wind energy, we're never really going to run out of wind. There's always going to be wind, unless we somehow lose our atmosphere, which probably isn't going to happen. There will always be wind. From this list of other stuff, do you guys have any other resources that might be renewable, practically unlimited? Yep. And so when we say water, we're actually talking about hydroelectric. If you ever hear the term hydroelectric, well, what happens there is that you take water that's flowing downhill. It could be a waterfall, could be something man-made like in a pipe or a dam, and the water runs so fast that it passes through a turbine. The turbine spins and generates electricity. That's hydroelectric power. What else? What are other sources of energy over here on the left side? Say it again. Yep, solar power. You don't run out of sun unless maybe it's cloudy, but really the sun is shining somewhere always. What else? Yep, biomass. Yep, that's a good one. Because what biomass is that you take something that was once living, like a tree, or even some people in Europe actually use dead bodies. You burn it, and by burning, you can boil some water, turn a turbine, and generate electricity. What else would be, let's see, is there any other? Yeah, there's a few more. Do you guys have any guesses on some other ones that'd be renewable? Yep, geothermal. Do you know what geothermal is? Heat, yeah, heat. Yeah, so you were right, Reagan, that the word thermal there means heat. Geo means earth, so heat from the earth. Heat from the earth, like Akina says, basically a bunch of hot rocks, and we put water on top of those hot rocks, which boils and turns a turbine and generates electricity. Most electricity is, we have to turn some kind of turbine, so all these processes somehow have to turn a turbine. The easiest way is to boil water, generate electricity. With wind power, the turbine is attached directly to the windmill, so that's kind of handy. Let's see, so we got water, wind, solar energy, biomass, geothermal. Okay, let's go and, well, there might be a couple more. Let's go to non-renewable energy for a second. Non-renewable energy, did anybody get the definition to, oh, I guys misspelled something. Nobody told me. Yep, so these are resources that are used faster that can be replaced. Or an easy way to say that is that these are limited resources. Coal would be a great example, yep. So coal is what's called a fossil fuel. There are lots of fossil fuels on this list. Coal is formed when something has died, like a swamp, and is buried under the ground, and after thousands of years, yeah, like trees, animals, whatever. When all that dead plant material has been under the ground for like 100 or thousands of years, because it's compressed and it turns into coal, which we burn to boil water, to turn a turbine, to generate electricity. But the thing about coal is that, notice I said it takes hundreds of years to form, which means once we dig it out of the ground, we're not going to get some more immediately. So if we keep consuming energy through coal, eventually one day we will run out of coal. And we're going to talk about that today or tomorrow. So coal is a limited resource because the earth only has so much to give before it runs out. Can you guys, on the left side, do you guys recognize any other resources that would be non-renewable? Yep, oil, yeah, oil's over there, but yes, oil, gasoline. Let's see here. I'm going to give you nuclear. So nuclear power is generated through radioactive elements. And radioactive elements take even longer to form under the ground, but like uranium, once we run out of uranium and plutonium, we can't get more of it. What about wood? What do you guys think about wood? Do you think that belongs in the renewable or non-renewable? Why do you say non-renewable? Yeah, so wood is actually now considered renewable because even though burning wood is not a clean process, like a lot of these other processes are pretty clean, wood, it grows back, obviously. So at the current rate of consumption, trees are growing faster than we can use wood. Now, if everybody decided to use wood instead of coal, then wood would probably go over to that non-renewable category because, you know, you can only chop so many trees down before it start to grow back again. On the right here, well, first of all, let's just look at these words, renewable and non-renewable. So renewable means it can be used again and again. Non-renewable basically means it can only be used once. You can't renew it. So, So all of these things right here, coal, oil, gasoline, these are all what are called fossil fuels, which means they are formed by some sort of dead plant or animal material. And they drill to the ground and get it out of the ground so we can use it and burn it and generate electricity from it. So fossil fuels are non-renewable resources because these are things that have died and taken a long, long time to turn into oil or coal. And once we run out, we can't get any more, or at least we have to wait thousands of years. And if you're in an energy crisis, you can't wait thousands of years to get more. Oops. Petroleum. Okay, yeah, I think that completes the list there. So yeah, that's renewable and non-renewable energy. Do you guys have questions over what those means or questions over the examples? So if you're still working on that practice, that's fine. I'm going to give you guys a tutorial for your second assignment today, which is the power plant questions. So you can do this online. There's a link online, or I have a hard copy on the moon in the middle. So you guys are given this map. This map shows you all of the major power plants across the US, and it's going to ask you questions about those power plants. It's going to ask you like, which is the most common type? And so you'll use the key at the bottom of the page to look at those different things. Also, and on the back of that map, there's a long list of Ameren Ameren power facilities. So Ameren runs a lot of the power in Missouri. You guys are going to do a little bit of math on this page. On this page, it says stuff like the capacity, which is measured in megawatts. You're going to add up those megawatts for certain power plants to answer a few questions about that too. So again, that's your second assignment, hard copy in the middle, or you can use the link online. Do you guys have any questions?